My man Mitch is in the house. Good morning, brother. Good to see you. Happy Friday, brother. What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can follow me or find me on all over social media at GBP Daily, and if you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Like the video, throw a comment down in the comment section. Really helps the channel be seen on YouTube, so I would appreciate that. It is Friday. Mitchell's in the house, says happy Friday. Happy Friday. September 27th. Hope your week's been good. We've got Packers, Vikings football just 2 days away. Lambeau Field, noon game. Justin Jefferson talking down on Jair. Vikings and Packers fans going at it all over social media. I love it. It's Vikings week. I personally think this rivalry is probably the more toxic rivalry compared to any other one that we have. Bears-Packers rivalry is always great, but there's just something about Packers-Vikings that gets fans all riled up. Vikings fans do take things a little far, which is good, but the banter always seems to go across the line, which you love to see, and that's what makes this weekend's game so fun. Vikings are undefeated. Packers sit at 2-1. Thanks to Malik Willis in the offense. Also, thanks to the defense forcing turnovers like no other. We've got 7 through 3 weeks, 7 interceptions, 9 overall turnovers. And last year in 19 games, we had 7 total picks. So already matching last season's number, which you love to see. We knew that with Jeff Hafley coming in, going for the ball was going to be an emphasis. And so far, it's paying off. You love to see it. I found this interesting yesterday from Adam Stenovich, our offensive line. He was asked on a scale of 1 to 10 how limited Jordan has been in practice, and he answered saying it would be too limited to put a number on it. Coach LaFleur then adding that Jordan will have up until game time to decide whether he will play or not, which I don't know how I feel about those quotes. All week I've been pretty confident about Jordan playing and giving it a go this weekend. But after hearing those quotes from our coaching staff yesterday, I'm a little more questionable about it all. So, which makes me a little nervous. Malik Willis, I love myself some Malik Willis, but I would like to see Jordan out there going up against this Vikings team and Vikings defense. Hopefully, it's just gamemanship between our coaches and trying to keep the Vikings guessing a little bit. But that'll be, it goes without saying, the main thing to be watching or monitoring heading into the weekend. Let's jump into the chat here. Just a reminder, I've got a question on the screen. Give me a call. Be a part of the show. Let me know your thoughts on the Nicolay Law hotline, 319-242-2332. Hit me up. Join the show. Give me a call. Had a caller yesterday. It was a blast. Be a part of the show. Let me know whether you think Jordan should or will be playing this weekend. I'm taking calls right now all throughout the show. Call me and let's chat. Jesse starting us off hot. Give me Malik Willis for another week. Let Jordan rest until next week's game against the Rams. What's going on, Jesse? I've seen this quite a bit. And here's where I stand on it. And it may be the most obvious answer ever, but if the Packers think Jordan Love is good to go, if Jordan Love thinks he's good to go, whether that's at 80%, if he's not at 100%, but they think he's good to go, then I'm all for letting him play. Malik Willis, as I just said, he's done great these last 2 weeks. He's led us to 2 wins. He's more than kept us afloat. We're sitting at 2-1, which is great. And but this weekend's game is so important. Division game, a home game. They're 3-0. We've got a chance to hand them their first loss. These playoff seedings later in the year, which hopefully we'll be involved in, are so affected by these division games, NFC games, and with it being the home game and of the two of the year, I would really like to see Jordan out there instead of Malik. I do think Malik, there's a path to winning the game with Malik Willis out there, but it goes without saying, I think the path is much more clearer or wider if Jordan is out there, which I guess is a duh statement. But yeah, Jesse, I'm hoping Jordan's out there, whether it's 80%, 90%. If he can protect himself, and the Packers think he's good to go, if Jordan thinks he's good to go, then let's go. Come on, get healthy. Let's do this thing. I've planned, or I've had this thought that this weekend's game would be when he would make his return. Ever since he got injured, last week I was a little optimistic that maybe he'd go a week early. And Jordan said himself he was super close to playing last weekend, which I don't know. I guess we heard that same thing for the Colts game. I don't know what to believe. Matt LaFleur has this whole limited thing in his head that he keeps telling everybody. And Adam Stenavich just said he was so limited that he couldn't put a number on it, 1 through 10. So I don't know. Maybe they're just fooling around with us, and maybe it's just trying to keep the Vikings on their feet a little bit. But I'm over it. So let's get Jordan back out there and let's just move on. So Durant, all I've been hearing is the Vikings this, the Vikings that, Sam Darnold this, Sam Darnold that, blah, blah, blah. When did Sam Darnold become Tom Brady? I absolutely agree, Durant. Give me a call, 319-242-2332, the Nicolay Law hotline, and let's chat about it. I've also seen Sam Darnold being thrown around in some MVP conversations. I just saw yesterday a post talking about unless they were to make the Super Bowl with Sam Darnold, that next year they're going to stick with JJ, and somebody else, if he plays well like this all year, is going to pay him a bunch of money. We're 3 games in. A lot of predictions and talk about Super Bowl and Sam Darnold getting paid a lot of money and all this stuff. And it's like, just wait till after this weekend when our defense exposes him, goes for 2-3 picks, couple sacks, and then let's have that conversation again. And probably will be more so of it is the Sam Darnold we always thought he was. So Durant, thank you for hopping on. Humble Joey over on Instagram. I think he should play, to be honest. No matter if it's a crazy Vikings defense, he needs to get the rust off. Absolutely. It's a home game. There's no travel involved. He literally has up until game time to get ready. He's not going to be sitting on a plane. He's not going to be going into an opposing team's locker room. He'll be at home. He'll be in his own locker room all this weekend. I just hope it's enough to get him back on the field. So we shall see. I said earlier, it is the number one thing we will be monitoring heading into Sunday. Joel over on Facebook. Thanks for hopping on, Joel. Glad to know we have a solid backup. Absolutely. Malik Willis has an argument to be one of the better or best backups in Packers history. I know Matt Flynn had that great game against the Lions. Stats-wise, I think Bart Starr is the only other backup that has played as well as Malik has. And then, obviously, Bart went on to be one of the GOATs. So, yeah, Malik Willis is definitely a solid to above average to a really good backup, which you'd love to see. Shout out to Goot for making that signing. And looking at both of the guys that he drafted and he's been developing, or our coaching staff has been developing, in Michael Pratt and Sean Clifford, and saying, hey, it's not good enough. Sorry. We're going to cut you both, and we're going to trade a 7th rounder for Malik Willis. And although we did bring back Sean Clifford for the practice squad, he went elsewhere, which good for Goody. Cheesehead Weekly, thanks for hopping on, man, over on X. I don't know, man. He's played some pretty tough defenses already and still performed. Yeah, I agree. Colts defense was good. Titans defense was ranked number 1 in the NFL in points allowed. He has played some really good defenses these last 2 weeks. I don't know if I've really drank the Kool-Aid so much as far as the Vikings defense. They are good. Maybe the Brian Flores headline thing is kind of taken over. And, obviously he was a good head coach. He was a good he was a head coach with the Dolphins. He was a good defensive coordinator in his coaching history. I think there's a path for sure to winning this weekend with Malik Willis. I think I am a victim of my own mentality as far as thinking Jordan was going to be back this weekend over the last, few weeks. So I'm holding true to that, which I probably should try not to, whether he's going to be ready or not. So, but Cheesehead Weekly, I agree with you. Sorry, he was reacting to the Darnold conversation there. I think Darnold O'Connell duel is a very good one. Cheesehead Weekly, they have played so well this week or this season. Their offense has been good, and Sam Darnold has been getting it done with no Justin Jefferson out there during the second half of the Niners game, no Jordan Addison at all during that Niners game, and he's kind of been missing some time with injuries. TJ Hawkinson has yet to even play a game. He started the year on PUP, and so far, Sam Darnold is balling out. So I do understand the hype around him. I just think that our defense can expose him, hopefully. Dave, I'm late. What can I get in? Give me a call, Dave, and let me know what you're thinking. Do you think Jordan Love should or will play this weekend? Hit me up on the Nicolay Law hotline, 319-242-2332, and let me know what you're thinking. Give me a call, Nicolay Law hotline. Join the show. Be a part of the show. Joel, our defense will tear apart Minnesota. Malik will do the rest. If Malik Willis does indeed play, I sure hope you're right. All right, what else we got? Ty. Justin Jefferson talking big after doing next to nothing the last time we faced him. Ty, what's going on? I did see his comments yesterday, and the main line that got spread around was him talking about how Jair cares about the matchup between Jair and Justin more than Justin cares about it. So that's kind of what got spread around. Seems a little disrespectful, which whatever. I imagine that he was pretty pissed about their last matchup, so I'm sure that's kind of where that stems from. But there was a lot more to that conversation and or a quote, and I do think that it was pretty even-keeled. So we'll see how this weekend goes. I'm excited for it. All right. Welcome to the Rob Westerman Show. Who am I talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, man, it's Ben, the Green Bay guy. How you doing?
Ben, how we doing, my brother? What is going on? I'm assuming you're calling me to give me your predictions. Should Jordan Love play, or will he play?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I got the delay here. I'm still watching live. I think Jordan plays. What about you? How are you feeling on it? I feel like he has to play, right?
Yeah, I know that you really despise the Vikings. Similar to me, they're my least favorite team in the division, and I would love to see all of our guys out there as much as possible. Do you think I've seen a lot of, let him rest for another week? Malik Willis can get it done. Where do you stand on that?
I think it just depends on health-wise where he's at, right? We saw him jogging around. I think Packers fans are optimistic, and I think that's a good thing, right? I think they think Malik's taking care of the Titans, he's taking care of the Colts. But that's a different caliber of team going against the Vikings team that's beat the 49ers and absolutely waxed the Texans. It's a divisional game. It's not an AFC matchup. It's a game that you need to win. This is these are the games that you need to win if you want to have those postseason games because you got to take care of your division first.
Right.
So I think you have to play him even if he's 90%. Obviously, you don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize long term. You don't want to do anything that's going to potentially hinder him going forward. You don't want to do something that makes that contract look terrible because he can't play, like maybe like an RG3 you saw in Washington. But I think, he's jogging around on the field. I think he has to go.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think I was kind of a victim of my own mentality. And since he had gotten injured, that I always thought this was the game he was going to return to. And seeing him out on the practice field, like you said, jogging around, even if he's at 75, 80%, if he can protect himself, let's see him play. Because like you said, we need to win this game. It's the closest thing to a must-win game that we've had so far this season. And I know it's super early, and the must-win thing isn't necessarily probably appropriate at this point. But I was reading off some quotes earlier in the show. Adam Stenavich couldn't give an answer on how limited he was on a scale of 1 to 10 because he was so limited. Do you think that it's gamemanship? Do you think that he actually is pretty limited? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's just been the running bit inside 1265. Because if you look at last week, everything, whenever anyone asked about Jordan, it was like, oh, limited. So I think that's just kind of their running bit on anyone who gets asked about Jordan, the response is limited. Whether or not he's actually limited. I think if he was limited, I don't think he would have been close to playing for the last 2 weeks, and I don't think he would have been jogging around. Yep, absolutely. You got to keep in mind, Aaron Jones played off of an injured MCL after a week and 2 weeks, multiple times in his career as a running back. So I think as a quarterback, you obviously don't want to put him in harm's way, but I think he has to go. Yep, I think he has to go, and I think he will go, honestly. That's kind of where I'm at. The quotes I heard yesterday, I'm with you. Yeah, maybe a little more questionable. I don't know. I'm kind of getting sick of it. Let's just get him out there and let's get the win. I'm going to ask you one question. I'm going to hang up and listen here because I got to log into work. Yep. But, I know you hate the Vikings. Yes. So I'm curious on your most memorable moment in the Packer-Viking stratosphere because you are surrounded by a lot of them. So wow. I'm going to hang up and listen. All right. I'm curious that question. That's why I wanted to call in. All right, Ben. I appreciate you calling. Show, man. And we'll talk to you later. Yep. Later, man. See you, Ben. All right. Thanks to Ben for calling into the show. Talking about Jordan Love, hanging out. He asked me what was my most memorable Packers-Vikings game or moment. Right when he asked that question, the first thing that popped in my head was a negative one, which was the Anthony Barr collarbone thing. I'm not going to talk about that one. Another one that's fun that popped in my head right away was last year, just smoking them on New Year's Eve. That was great. Gosh, that's such a loaded question. The playoff game where they had their backup quarterback playing, obviously that was a good one. I was so nervous because, I've got a lot of Vikings fans that are friends of mine and family members and whatnot. So you always are, you lose in the regular season, that's not a big deal. But for the opposing team, this case being the Vikings, ending your season, I just couldn't even possibly imagine that. So that was a huge win. Let's see here. They're not necessarily related, but the most time, the time that I remember was the year that Aaron Rodgers went down, and then the Vikings went on to have this crazy year. They had Case Keenum. They were wrecking. They had the Minneapolis Miracle, lucked out and won that game. And then upon that NFC Championship game, I was the biggest Eagles fan that you probably have ever seen. And for the Eagles to go out there and dominate the Vikings, to prevent them from playing at their home stadium in the Super Bowl, that was my favorite, somewhat sort of Packers-Vikings related year
because the Packers, I believe, were 4-1, or maybe they were 4-0 at the time. I think they just came off a huge win against the Cowboys. Devontae Adams in the end zone late in the fourth quarter, and we were looking very, very good. Super Bowl contending team. And then, of course, Aaron goes down, and the Vikings catch fire off of that and kind of take over the division, take over the NFC. And thank goodness for the Eagles. Shout out to Alshon Jeffrey, Nick Foles. That was even with Packers wins. That win by the Eagles over the Vikings ranks up there in one of my most favorite wins in the NFL in general. So Ben, big shout out. Thank you for Ben for calling in. Missed a couple other calls here. Hotline is still open, 319-242-2332, Nicolay Law Hotline. Be a part of the show. Call me, see what's up. Let me know, do you think Jordan Love will or should play this weekend? I've been missing some chats here, so I apologize about that. Durant, what did Justin Jefferson say about Jair? The headline that's getting kind of floated around more than most is him talking about how he doesn't care about the matchup between him and Jair, and that Jair cares about it more. So that's kind of pretty much all he said as far as what people are getting up in arms about. So, all right. You are on the Rob Westerman Show. Who's calling and where are you calling from?
This is Joel, and I'm calling from Oregon.
Oregon, and Joel is on the line. Joel, how you doing? How long have you been a Packers fan?
Oh, since I was been able to walk.
Absolutely love to hear it. That's typically what I always say is, ever since I was born. I was born into it, which thank goodness I was. What do you think? Jordan, is he going to go this weekend, or do you think he should go?
Honestly, I don't think he should, because Malik Willis has proved himself. None of that, but we're gonna let our QB1 rest. We're gonna let our QB1 rest, and we're gonna dog walk it.
I absolutely love it. And I was saying earlier in the show, I get where everybody's coming at. Either way, if you want Jordan to play, which I'm hoping and wanting him to play, I'm sure like everybody else. And if you're wanting him to rest and throw Malik Willis out there again after the last 2 weeks that he's had, and I'm all for it either way. I think there's a path to winning with either quarterback on the field. And if we could get it done without Jordan these last 2 weeks, then it's very possible this weekend. Joel, anything else you want to add on?
Hey, all I'm going to say is go Pack, go. And go Malik Willis. Whether they play love or not, we're going to dog walk the Vikings. We're going to put that skull to rest like we've always done. And just go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go, Joel. I appreciate you calling in, man. Have yourself a great Friday.
You as well. Big
shout out to Joel for calling in the show. He says we're going to dog walk the Vikings, and I am on board 100%. Big game this weekend. What else we got? Aaron, kind of an ironic question comment here. I personally am going to boo my TV when Aaron Jones hits the field. What's going on, Aaron? Listen, I posted yesterday asking whether you'll be cheering or booing when Aaron runs out of the tunnel. And as you can imagine, I got responses covering all angles. And I think I understand everyone's opinion. On one side, he was a great Packer, a fan favorite, did a ton on the field and off the field. And on the other side, he did choose to go to the Vikings, where seemingly all of our ex-players decide to go for some odd reason. But I personally won't be probably doing either, booing or cheering. I wish him the best. Honestly, I loved watching Aaron Jones play. One of my favorite Packers during his time with the team. You can see right there, I had a chance to meet him. He signed my jersey of his. Will always be grateful for what he did for the team. And yeah, wish him the best, but not this Sunday. But if I know any better, he probably will have a good game. And if he does score, he did say he's going to do a Lambeau leap. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully Packers fans didn't sell their row one tickets to Vikings fans. Armin, Prediction for Sunday. Armin, appreciate you, man. You probably had like a 10, 12, 15-day streak or hopping on the show. I appreciate you. I'm not very good at predictions, Armin. I'm going to go Packers 31, Vikings 24. That's where I'm at. You are live on the Rob Westerman Show. Who am I talking to? Where are you calling from? One second, Steve. Let me see something here. Sorry about that. Didn't have you on speaker. Could you repeat that? Dave, what's going on, man? Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think Jordan will or should play this weekend?
Well, I mean, that's depending. How is his MCL has progressed, but more of what I was actually trying to get to is what kind of coverages do you think they're going to be playing?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I was listening to Andy Herman the other day, and they were talking about, do you throw Jair on him all game, or do you do the Bill Belichick style, Eric Stokes in a safety, double him, take out Justin Jefferson completely? What do you think the route they should go? Should they throw Jair on him one-on-one and have him follow Justin Jefferson all game, or do you think they should throw Eric Stokes with some safety help over the top and try and completely take him out? What are your thoughts?
Well, it depends. I'm thinking maybe you could do a little bit of man quarters, like they've tried before.
Yep.
Then again, you could try a cover 3, cover 6. It all depends on what they're trying to run there.
Absolutely agree, man. Throw me your prediction for this weekend's game. You think we can pull it off?
Oh, for sure.
What's your score prediction?
I'd say 27-21.
I like that. Yeah, I'm sitting kind of similar to you, 31-24. That's with the assumption that Jordan plays. I think we can probably get to that number if Malik plays. I mean, we got to 30 last week. But anything else you want to add before we hop off here?
Totally up to you guys.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Nicolay Law Hotline. You're always welcome to call every show. Appreciate your input, man. Have yourself a great Friday.
You as well, man.
Thank you.
All right, peace.
Always appreciate the calls. Emilio in the chat. Rob is cooking this morning. Absolutely love it. Emilio, shout out to you for hopping on the show this morning. Linda, good morning. Hopefully Jordan won't play until he is healthy. Linda, I have to agree with you there as well. Just signed him to a huge contract. He's going to be playing with us hopefully for another 10, 15 years. It's still early on in the season. There are much more things at play when it comes to Jordan playing this weekend than just the Vikings game. You know that the front office is thinking about the long-term effects. Can he protect himself if he is out there? Can we avoid a re-injury to the MCL? So, Linda, you are not alone. I feel like the fan base is kind of split right in half. Some people want him to play. Some people want him to rest. I think the folks wanting him to rest has a lot to do with Malik Willis and how he's played, which goes without saying. So, Linda, happy Friday. Hope you have yourself a good Friday. All right, it is time for the Packers Fact of the Day. Fact of the Day is brought to you by TickPick. They guarantee the lowest prices on Packers tickets. And even better, if you find tickets that are somehow cheaper than what they have them at, TickPick will give you 110% of your money back. If you want $20 off your next order, use the code Packers20 at checkout for $20 off. Can only be used in the app, so be sure to download it with the season underway. Fact of the day. Edgerrin Cooper, the Packers linebacker, is currently the 6th highest graded defender from this past year's draft and the highest overall graded linebacker from the draft as well. When he's on the field, he's playing great. So it's just a matter of being on the field. So I think he had 8 snaps week 1. Played great in those 8 snaps. He had 3 tackles, if I remember correctly, a batted pass, had a good play on Saquon Barkley at the line of scrimmage, had a good play on Jalen Hurts shortly after the line of scrimmage. And then I think he had 11 snaps week 2 against the Colts. And then I think it went down against the Titans. I can't remember correctly, but he still played well when he was out there. I do understand what the Packers are doing in easing him into the defense. He did miss most of the preseason due to injury. So we're 3 games in, though. So week 4 this weekend, I'm hoping they let him loose and, yeah, just kind of play him a lot more because he's earned it. So, all right, guys, that is going to do it for me today as far as the show goes. But as you know, the content never stops. I'm always posting anything and everything Packers related all over social media at GBP Daily. If you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. So until then, I will catch you guys later.